Hi everyone, this is Bruce, here to tell you about small stem assays using a slurry-type inoculum. As you can see, it's the year 2020. I'm wearing a mask because of COVID-19 and the need for social distancing, but I'm going to take it off so you can hear me through this video. The purpose of the slurry inoculum is also to speed up the inoculation process so fewer people working individually can get through these inoculations faster than we have in the past. First, let me show you what we'll need. For sterilizing, alcohol and a lighter. For making the incisions on the tree, we will need first of all a jig to measure the width of the stem, the beveled cork borer to make the incision, and a jig to measure the length of the incision. And then to seal it up, we'll be using masking tape. So let me show how we're going to use the jig to find the inoculation site first. This is set at 4 millimeters, which is the minimum size necessary for a small stem assay inoculation. So you look on the stem for the place where the stem is at least 4 millimeters wide. If you have a seedling like this one, where the whole thing is too narrow, don't use it. Don't bother inoculating it. It will just die from the inoculation, no matter how resistant it is. But on a larger seedling like this, up here you can see is too small, down here is too fat, but right about here is a good 4 millimeter space. And so this is where our inoculation site will be. You want to choose it as high as possible, as long as it's at least 4 millimeters in diameter. Second, you'll be wanting to make the incision. You'll want to sterilize the tools at the beginning of the day. You don't have to do it between each incision. Spray it with a little ethanol, and then flare off the ethanol with a lighter. That's all there is to it. Perhaps Mr. Cameraman will move in a little closer so that you can see how the jig works. Is this a new video or same one?
Same.
Okay. All right. So I put the jig up against the stem. You got to do it around the front though. Yeah. You got to see this part. Okay. Excellent, cameraman. Thank you. The jig up against the stem at this 4 millimeter site, and it's measured at 7 millimeters in length. Then you use the cork borer and just slide it along the jig, and that you've made now a 7 millimeter incision. As you can see, sometimes you get a little flap. You can leave that flap alone, or you can turn your cork borer around and cut it off if you want. Really doesn't matter. Okay, that's for the incision. For the inoculum, for the first time you use it in the day, in case there's other fungus or bacteria that have landed on the tip, wipe it off with an alcohol-soaked tissue just to keep the tip sterile. Maybe squeeze out a small amount and get rid of anything